Starting to record. Hello, Alison. Hope you're well. Alrighty. Well, we'll just get started. Hi. Yeah, feel free to use the chat. I'm ready to go. Just welcoming everyone to our lunchbox class as a school teacher, and we've got parents here, mums here. School is starting next week, and what perfect time to get our heads around lunch boxes because we are about to start a fresh new year filling up those lunch boxes. Now, because you've got your Thermomix on your bench, what a perfect opportunity to save a lot of money by making snacks so easily in your Thermomix, but also getting rid of a lot of the nasty stuff that we find in packets. Raf could vouch for that. All the nasty stuff that we find in packets, so easy and so much cheaper to make some simple things and make them at home. I've got three of my wonderful team members. We've got Janet, Raf, and Jen, who will be cooking various things tonight. We've got some savory and some sweet things, all very quick. And the girls will go through how you can adjust the recipe to make various items and different hints and tips about what you can do to change them to suit yourself or the kids. Because remember, lunchbox snacks are not just for the kids. Going back to work soon, you can absolutely pop them into your lunchboxes as well. So please let me know in the chat, I don't know everyone. So if you could just pop in the chat what Thermomix that you have. And remember that at the moment, we do have an Earn 4 promotion happening where you can earn your TM7 with only 4 sales in 3 months. So if you'd like to join our amazing team and get the opportunity to do things like this, we would love to have you on board. So yeah, keep that in mind. So if you could pop in the chat which Thermomix you have, just so that we can connect the recipes to your particular Thermomix as well. Alison's got the 7. Haven't heard of anyone else yet. Oh, Deanna's got the 6. Kim Heng. Let's see. All righty, beautiful. So oh no, Alison, that's more than fine. You can keep it off. That's more than fine. All right, so we're starting off our night. Firstly, with Raf, she is going to go through some pizza dough, but making something special with it. I will pop recipes in the chat so you can copy them and grab them from Cookidoo to use them.
Thanks, T. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So as Teresa kind of touched on just then, I'm very keen to eliminate additives, preservatives, refined sugar, etc. From my kids' diet. So I very consciously read ingredients all the time. And the Thermomix just makes life so much easier in terms of being able to prepare food that I know the ingredients of, and I don't even have to worry about going to the store. One of my favorite, I mean, literally it's saved in my bookmarks, favorite recipes is the pizza dough recipe. So Teresa's going to share the link, but just so you can see what it looks like. Oh, I don't know if you can see it there on my phone. Basically, it's a basic pizza dough recipe. And you can use it to make, if you've got a pizza oven, you can use it to make the, Neapolitan style pizzas. You can use it to make tray baked pizzas, so like a rectangle. But what I use it for quite often is to make mini pizzas. So I'm going to mix the dough now. I'm going to show you the ingredients that you need, really simple ingredients, and most people have them. Mix the ingredients. Then the rest of the team are going to show their recipes. And then when we come back to me, I'm going to show you how to assemble and make these little mini pizzas. Another reason why I really love them is because I actually freeze them. If I make them during school holidays or whatever on the weekend, they get eaten straight away. But if I manage to make them prepping for lunches, then what I do is I freeze them individually and then I pop them in a little freezer box or a freezer bag. And if I don't have lunch for the kids one day, the best thing is I just pull one out, pop it in their lunchbox, and it defrosts by the time they get to school. And, they're happy to eat it like that. The other good thing about it is that the kids can have whatever toppings they want. So if I'm going to freeze them, most of the time I just do margarita, so tomato base with cheese on top. But if your kids like Hawaiian, whatever toppings, you can even get them involved in making them. So that's why it's my favorite. So
I was also going to quickly say that my older son is 10, and the other one, they're starting to get off sandwiches and things like that. So another way to pop something in their lunchbox is a bit of their main kind of meal and thingo, without, avoiding the sandwiches because they get over it and they're not so
yeah. So
So
the other thing you can do, thanks for prompting me, T. The other thing I've done in the past is actually slice them horizontally and put like ham in them or whatever. So if I just make them basic, like, cheese and tomato on top, you can slice them in the middle and put fillings in later on if you want to, if your kids want something else. But 9 times out of 10, they're just happy to eat them like that. Okay, so step by step, it says to grease a bowl and then you're placing the water in. So it's 220. This recipe says that it's for 4 pizzas, but I'll probably get somewhere between 10 and 12 mini pizzas out of this. So it's a decent amount. So you can see with the 7, it just ticks it. You probably can't see, but it ticks itself off when it's met that. So it's a teaspoon of sugar. Now it says optional. I use organic raw sugar only, and the sugar helps the yeast rise, helps the dough rise. You don't absolutely have to put the sugar, but if you've got good quality sugar, it's fine. And then yeast. So it's either 20 grams of fresh yeast or 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. So then hit next, and it basically just, for 20 seconds at speed 2, it'll stir the ingredients together. And then, so while that's happening, I'll explain that during the break, I'm going to actually just use the Thermomix to grate some cheese as well to put on top. So this recipe doesn't have the cheese grating involved in it, but of course you can do that at any point. So that's stirred it for me. Now it's saying add the baker's flour. So this is 400 grams of baker's flour. Now remember that it has to be baker's flour. It can't be plain flour. Baker's flour is high in protein, and you use baker's flour for things like pizza, anything that you would find in a bakery, bread, pretzels, all that stuff. Olive oil, 30 grams of olive oil. I would encourage you to use olive oil and not other oils, especially seeded oils. Try and stick to good quality olive oil. And then a teaspoon of salt. And again, don't skimp on the salt because it does make a difference to the recipe. Pop the lid on, and it goes from mixing mode to kneading mode. So now for 2 minutes, it's going to knead my dough, and then I'll pop it in a bowl and let it rest while the rest of the team shows what they're doing.
beautiful. I was just popping in the chat as well. So some other things that you can definitely make with your dough. So as Raf said, like the little, like a pita, like when you slice them in the middle, they're kind of like a pita, really.
Yeah.
Pinwheels, cheese and bacon kind of scrolly things. Like there's so many things that you can do with that pizza dough. It's a real good base. And then you can go from there. Even sometimes I find I'll put all my pizza dough in just a square tray, put my toppings on, and then I'll chop it up and put the little squares into the lunch boxes. And that's super easy to do. Another way to prove your dough quickly is by using your fermentation mode on your Thermomix. So putting a little bit of water at the base, 500 mils of water, popping your dough at the top of your varoma, setting it to 37 degrees, and then your dough, especially good old Melbourne weather, will ferment beautifully. It will rise beautifully in that nice warm space. So yeah, lots of extra little things
And
that
another tip about with rising dough, if you for some reason want to use your Thermomix and you don't want to use fermentation mode, get your thermoserver, put hot water in it, tip it out, dry it out, and then put the dough in it, or cover it in a blanket, which is what my nonna used to always
yeah.
do. So put it in a bowl, cover it with a lid or a tea towel, and put a blanket on top. This is what we're talking about for winter. In summer, you won't need to do that at all. But the thermoserver is another good way to rise your dough, no matter what dough. Or a blanket, But the using the fermentation mode is great, especially if you're going to go out for the day and you've got the time. And it rises it perfectly, like bakeries, basically.
Beautiful. So we're good. We're going to go to Jen. Let me just remove Raf and put on the lovely Jen Mead.
Hello,
Hi, Jen.
hi.
Jen's
Hi,
doing
hi.
2 dishes, but some of these
Two,
come in so quickly. That's what we like, nice
right?
and quick. So I'm going to leave it there.
Absolutely.
I'll
So
pop
we're going to
recipes
do
in the
we're
thing.
going to do the ham and cheddar frittata with chocolate zucchini muffins. So two separate things. They're not chocolate, frittata, but that's weird. But we're going to use the Varoma, which is awesome because I know that a lot of people sometimes, they don't that I get to use the aroma as much. All right, they're not sure how to use it, a little bit like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to show you that yes, you can. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to wet some parchment paper, some greaseproof paper, oven-proof paper, scrunch it up a little bit, and then just cover the tray and put that aside. So that's where our frittata is going to go. So we've done that. This is great too. I mean, I know you can't see probably from there, but this with the TM7, we now have like little video prompts. So sometimes, not all recipes, but sometimes you'll find that there is a video in there, a quick little something, something. So it'll show you exactly how to do it. So I didn't demonstrate how to put that paper in there because, I think you might know. But in case you don't, there's a video. Yay. Okay, so next we're going to cut our cheese. And
That beautiful
I mean,
picture.
we're just going to put the cheese in here and grate it. We're not going to cut the cheese. I know you've all got children, you know exactly what that means. So we put the cheese in, we weigh it, we go next, and here we go. We're just going to chop it up.
And Zoom is quieting down the machine, but I have to say that the 7 owners would love that. It is such a quieter model thanks to that new motor and that installation. It is so much quieter, which we love.
Quite a difference, isn't it?
It is significantly, yeah.
Not when you bang it like I'm doing, but it's all good. All right, get the cheese out. It doesn't matter if you don't get all of the cheese out, because it's all going into the same place anyway. But we are going to transfer it to a bowl like that. Put that aside, and then we're going to add our baby spinach. So here's some spinach. Make sure you wash it, give it a rinse before you cook with it because you can't be too careful these days. So in it goes. Whoop. Spinach is in, and now our ham. Now I've been a bit cheeky today, and I got a ham steak. I got just like a little packet of ham steaks, and I chopped that into pieces. And I think this is brilliant. If I say so myself, which I just did, so that's good. We're on the money there. Next, and we're going to chop that too.
I
Now,
mean,
this recipe is from the U. It's from America, so it's changed to metric. Is it imperial? It's changed to imperial for me, and it'll just change back when I want to go back to that. All right. Were you going to say something and I rudely interrupted?
no, no, no. I was just going to say it's still a great recipe, this frittata. Well, I love that there's two cooks in the one recipe. That's super handy. Double
Yes,
bang for your buck, but also that frittata, you could add whatever in it, I guess.
100%. And
But to
that's
get
come
the
out
greens in, important.
beautifully. Very evenly chopped up as well, which is great. Okay.
It's hard to
There.
get
Now,
protein in the lunchboxes, so this is a great way to get protein in the lunchboxes too.
absolutely. So it just says to spread that out evenly as much as you can on the tray. Now we're going to pour an egg mixture over that, so that will also move around a bit later. So, oopsies. There. Okay. Next. All right, now we're going to make this egg mixture. So we've got 5 large eggs. Done. Beautiful. And then we want 2 ounces of milk, whole milk. And imagine you could use any kind of milk that you want, actually. Salt to taste. That's for your kiddies. You want to be a bit careful with how much salt you're putting in there. And some pepper. Just chuck some pepper in there as much as you like. We should have ground this beforehand, but there we are. And next, we're going to mix that up. So easy, just like chuck it in, press play. I love that so much about this machine. Like it's just very quick, very intuitive, and just I love how much time it saves me, especially like this idea, layering your cooking, getting many things done at once. So now I'm going to pour this over this. I will put the lid underneath just in case I'm a little bit, clumsy. But there we go. We're just going to pour that over there. Has anybody ever made an omelette in their Veroma before?
In the chat, there's a bit of chat saying that more for veggies and meatballs and stuff like that, but not baked goods. But I would assume,
Ah,
well, not many have done a frittata. I went through a frittata phase on it because it allowed me to cook without too much oil.
yes.
Trying to be a little bit more careful what I was consuming. Yeah, so yeah, no frittatas, but they say it looks good. Deanna says it looks good.
Can I tell you what
Yeah.
I did in the Veroma the other day for the first time? Because it was in a recipe. I made a rice salad, and in the recipe it said so it was cooking the bits and pieces underneath for the rice salad, and in the Veroma it said to put 2 eggs whole in their shell. So it steamed them at the same time as it was cooking. Then I peeled the eggs. It was like boiled eggs, peeled them, and sliced them, and put them in the rice salad. And I've never done that before, and I loved it.
Oh, there you go. That's a great way. Well, we're getting so the consultants have been in the process of earning a Nesta, which is a new silicon piece that's going to go into the Varoma at the top. There's many compartments in there. So what that allows you to do is really get the most out of your Varoma, but you can cook like eggs in it, little mini frittatas, but you can also do a lot of desserts, muffins. My goodness, there's so many things. So us consultants are working hard to earn that incentive, and then we'll be cooking away with our little nesters in the Varoma. So, yep, stay tuned for that. That's coming, but it just means you can cook more and throw them in your Varoma. They'll be great.
And I think that the Nesta would have come in very handy today, but
It would have.
anyway,
It could,
we
yeah,
live on.
exactly. It would have.
Actually, I had an idea earlier, and I wasn't going to try it because like I would want two of these, but I thought maybe using something like that. I don't know if you can see it very well. Little snack mold to
Yeah,
put in the top and pour that frittata mixture in, so
yeah,
that when they're cooked, you've got like little soldiers, if you like. I thought
absolutely.
that would be like a really cool, cute idea, especially for lunch boxes. So, easier to eat and what have you.
And the other thing I've done with frittatas, Jen, is I put them in the muffin molds.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
just
that's a
you
good
can
idea too.
like the
Yeah, easy
mini
to
because
eat.
I find that the normal muffin size is probably a bit too big, but the
Yeah,
mini muffin molds it's like about 2, 3 bites,
yeah.
and they keep their shape. Obviously, you can
Wow.
just pop them in the lunchbox.
I think you'll love the Nesta when it comes. It's yeah, it's really opens up possibilities at the top. Yeah, using the top.
All right. So I'm just going to keep going as we chat because
Yeah, keep
mine,
going.
obviously I've got a layered thing, so I don't want to keep everyone too long. So all I've done there is just put in some zucchini. So we're hiding some veggies in here. And of course we know that the zucchini is also going to make these muffins nice and, dare I say the word, moist.
Please.
Say it with me. It's going to make them moist. So we love that.
Because
Okay,
we're making our
next.
muffins now, aren't we?
Yes, yes, sorry, moving on, right?
Yep.
This is like,
No, it's all right.
right? We've got the frittata waiting patiently over there. So we're just going to now make the mixture, the batter. So I've got 2.5 ounces of sugar. Just like as Raf said, I only use the raw sugar. There's no need for any of that refined bleached business. It's all the same. She's going to crack it when I tell her what kind of oil this is.
Oh,
Olive oil is the best. I'm just using this, what they told me to. So, and I had it on hand, sadly. So,
I don't
putting
mean
the
to
oil in.
influence the olive oil game, but I'm a huge advocate for olive oil.
Well, yeah, I know, like this. Okay, this is vegetable oil. Look, full disclosure, okay?
That's all right. I forgive
It's
you.
vegetable oil. All right, it's not amazing, but I had it, and that's what it asked for. So we're doing it. And then we've got 2 eggs. Chucking them in there. Next, we're gonna mix that up. You're going to get the gist of it too. Like once you start using it, okay, well, once all of this is going to go in, next is probably going to be a mix. Next is either going to be a mix or it's going to be a cook. So, you're ready, you're on it. And this is only for 10, 15 seconds anyway. And once that's done, I think we're going to add the flour and such. Yes. So 2.5 ounces of flour, just any kind of normal flour. I didn't weigh this out, but it's easy just to pour it in. 2.5.
and really basic ingredients, and this is what I love. It's just super stuff that you'll have in your pantry, ready to go, and
Yeah.
throw together.
Now this here, I've already mixed up because I'm smart like that. So this is cocoa powder, unsweetened, baking soda, baking powder, ground cinnamon. I can't remember if I put salt in it, but I think I did. Salt, and because I'm cheeky as well, I put some protein powder in there as well, just vanilla protein powder. Give it a bit
Right.
of more of a kick, you know.
Nice idea.
And then we're gonna press play. This is 5 second mix. Like honestly, quick, 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 quick. I love that. When I got my very, very first Thermomix, 10 years ago now, I almost 11, someone said to me, it's so quick, you won't believe it. And I'm like, well, let's see about that, because I had young children at the time. And I thought if I can make muffins ready to go to school with them before school, all right, crazy, stop it, then, like, I mean, I already bought it by that stage, but I'm like, let's just see, let's test it. And guess what? It's like 30 seconds. You chuck everything in, done, put them in the oven. They're doing that while you're running after them, get your shit done. And then you've got perfectly beautiful, delicious muffins ready to go. Zucchini going back in. What I love about this one too is that I have not had to squeeze all of the zucchini out, A lot of recipes you need to do that. I did not have to, which is fabulous. Now, this is optional. You can add walnuts. You can add, any kind of nuts you want, I suppose, but my kids are not going to go for that. So we're leaving it out. Some sort of sensory textural problems happening there. So 10-second mix with the zucchini back in there. Then we're going to put them into, look at this. Now, I love that our TM7 now has a much more ergonomic, I want to say. It just makes more sense. The
Yep.
room is a lot wider. You can fit more things in it, like 2 whole chickens if you like. But look, it fits this thing. Okay, so I'm going to pour the mixture into that. And once that's done, so I'll pour that in there. I'll put some water in here, and then I'm going to put it all together. And then they'll steam for 20 minutes, I think. So I'm going to get onto that. You don't have to watch me put it into molds because that's lame. But we can get on, and hopefully these will be ready for you to see a little bit later.
Thank you, Jen. So yeah, I love this recipe because the fact that you can actually knock down two elements for lunchboxes for the week in one go is incredible. And that's why we love our Thermomixes. So pop in the chat if you have any snack ideas that you have been as your go-to, or what kind of snack ideas were you hoping to get out of the class? Because if we haven't covered it tonight, we can definitely follow up with you and give you some more hints and tips. So we'll go back to Jen a little bit later. I'm going to remove her spotlight, but now we've got the lovely Janet, who is going to be making something a little bit sweet now. I love you fruit and seed bars.
First of all, oh, hello. I want to shout out to my customer, Kim. Thanks
Yeah,
for making it. Really means a lot to me. This is my fabulous team. They're really good, and they're really good at what they do. First of all, maybe I'll move my face. I haven't figured out how to turn off the motion thing. Anyway, I'd like to focus on my screen. Teresa, are you able to?
Oh, add your other one? Yep.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
do. Yep, there you go. Add both.
okay. And how do I turn my?
So on the right-hand side in the right corner, there should be a little button that allows you
Oh,
to.
yep.
You got it?
Yep. I just want to show everyone that you can see a thermal. You can actually change the portion sizes. That's really handy. But tonight I'm just gonna do a 6, so I'll halve it instead of making the full recipe. And these bars are so good, and you can literally like switch in anything you like, literally. But as this is a lunchbox class, I'll try to keep it, lunchbox friendly. So stick to fruit and seed only, no nuts. So I'm sure most schools won't allow those.
And even like these bars are so expensive at the supermarket. You find that they're they're really costly item to add to your lunch boxes, but so good for the kids to get all that fruit and nuts into them. And I'm sure, Raf, there's some nasty little numbers happening in some of them, yeah, in a lot of them as well. So it's been great that Janet's picked this recipe because it is a really clean way to get some good stuff into the lunch boxes.
Oh yeah. Well, the really good ones, they're expensive, but if you want to pay cheap, then you get all the crap ones. You don't know what they
Yeah.
added, honestly. First step, I have already preheated my oven, so I'll skip that. And just gonna put in my sunflower seeds. These are all pre-measured. So, and then again, you don't really have to follow the measurements. Just if you like more of anything, of course, go for it. Why not?
Janet, Alison has asked, are the bars crunchy or chewy, or does it depend how
Um,
you cook it?
they are kind of chewy.
Kind of chewy. Yeah. Feel like chewy goes better with the kids at my house anyway. I'm not sure about everyone else's houses, but the boys prefer a chewy bar than too crunchy, hard on their little teeth. But I've added the recipe to the chat, so definitely check it out. But lots of goodies in it.
So sorry. I pressed play the moment you were saying something.
No, that's okay.
So I'm just making a paste out of these now.
While that's working, I might just point out that apricots, dried apricots in particular, are quite the ones. A lot of the ones that you find in the supermarket are quite tricky. They're sprayed. Well, they might have seed oils, but they tend to have a lot of preservatives. So when you're looking for dried apricots, try and find ones that don't have preservatives. They're tricky to find in regular supermarkets, but you can definitely find them in organic supermarkets, and you'll know that they're different because they're not the bright orange ones. So often, the really bright orange ones are the ones that, have either got preservatives on them or sometimes even coloring. So if you find ones that are clean, they're usually like a brown color. But also keep in mind that you can swap out dried apricots for anything else. If you wanted to put dried pineapple, my kids are obsessed with dried pineapple at the moment, or dried mango. You could easily swap it out for either of those. Goji berries, dried blueberries, sultanas, whatever.
Now, was it you who said that Costco's got the good dried mango as well?
Costco's dried mango is next level, like so addictive that my mum even was like, "Can you please get me that dried mango?" So they have an organic one, which they don't always have. So when they have it, I get like 2 or 3 bags. It's massive, but lasts for ages. And I just chop it up into little bits in the kids' lunchboxes for them. But if they don't have the organic one, then the regular one is just as good. It literally tastes like mango, fresh mango. It's so beautiful.
Diana asked, do you get them somewhere local, Raf? So just, yeah,
The dried apricots.
maybe the apricots.
So I get all of my dried fruit from Terra Madre. So Terra Madre's there's one in Brunswick on Sydney Road, and there's one on High Street, Northcote. So I get everything from there, yeah. But otherwise, the organic supermarket on Preston Market as well. It's more expensive, but they definitely have dried fruit too.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. So I guess I'll show everyone what that looks like now. So it's kind of like very fine, pasty, powdery. Cool. And I'm gonna add in my dried apricots. And next, oh, it's asking us to chop. Wonderful. Yep. There you go. All nice and fine in 1 second. Impressive.
Nothing as powerful as a Thermomix.
That's it. I'm gonna add in my bananas.
Now, I was just going to ask you, Janet, the recipe says a ripe banana, but you're putting in one that isn't so ripe, so it doesn't matter?
No, I don't think it does matter.
I'm assuming the ripe banana would just make it sweeter, but
Yeah,
in terms of consistency, it doesn't matter.
but honestly, I just tend to
Whatever you've got.
put in whatever I've got.
Yeah, no, that's good to know.
If I have some, like, let's say if I have more of pepitas, I tend to, just mix it up a little bit. Like, if I have more of something, I'll combine the weights. Like, instead
Yeah.
of 30 grams sunflower seeds, or like to follow exactly, I'll combine 30 grams of sunflower seeds or like 50-gram pepita seeds, and then combine them if I just have the one. So that makes it 80. That makes sense.
That exactly makes 100% sense. It's exactly what I do.
Yep.
I say to people, you can mix and match
That I'm not the
ingredients
only
in
one.
recipes, but when you're baking is a science. Cooking is an art. Baking is a science. And why I say that is because you need the right measurements, otherwise you mess it up. So when you're baking
Oh,
bread, you're baking cakes. So like you said, if you're 20 grams less of one ingredient, you do have to compensate for something else because it's going to totally mess up the consistency if you don't.
yeah. And depends on what you're making as well. Like, yeah, I agree. If you're baking or like breads are very temperamental. Like, you have to follow it exactly. But hang on, let me add my oats. And just some seasoning. Like, more cinnamon's fine. It's just asking for half teaspoon. I just I'm Asian, so whatever. Like,
But also, again, if the kids don't like cinnamon, you could easily swap that out. You could even
yes,
put cacao
correct.
instead of cinnamon, or just not have any spices at all. Nutmeg might be a good one. Ground ginger, um, they're the other ones I would go to. Cardamon's beautiful, but again, the kids that might be too fancy for the kids. Just leave it
Yeah,
out.
it might be a little heavy, but cinnamon's fine. Cinnamon's kind of on the sweeter side. Or if you want, you can put in some raw sugar or like monk fruit sugar, something like the more organic stuff. Anyway, we'll mix that for 5 minutes. Oh no, 5 seconds, sorry.
And that's pretty much all done, isn't it, Janet? You're going to pop it into your mold?
Yes. And that's it. And I have these molds from the mix shop. This is what I
Yeah.
like to use. If you don't have these, or let's say if you're making the full recipe for 12, you can actually just use, any pan you have, press it and cut it to shape. But
That's
I
all.
like these ones because I just press down on it, bake it, and it's in like really nice portion sized.
Janet, when you put it in the tray,
Yeah.
do you slice it when it's still hot, or do you let it cool and then slice it?
I would let it cool before I slice it. Otherwise it's too mushy.
Too mushy.
Yeah. And I like to just put this because this is quite flimsy by itself. I'll just put it in a tray. That way it's easier to get out as well.
I have to say, in the mix shop, there is the silicon range, which I do love. It's all edged like with a steel, like little, so it doesn't bend
The
basically.
stainless steel
Oh,
edging.
right.
Yeah, the stainless steel
The
edging, that's
pan, isn't
it.
it?
And they're so handy because it just pop everything out. Yeah, so great for lunchbox sacks. There's ones for the donuts. Yeah, there's all different ones. I think I've got all of that. So yeah. Um, Janet, did you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll probably, yeah,
Pop it, we'll come back
I
to
don't
you.
think you want to look at me pressing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'm
We're gonna
sure
go.
everyone wants to find out how the pizzas and the muffins look like.
Yeah, so we'll go back to Raf, then we'll drop back in with Jen, and then we'll drop back with Janet, and then that will be our
Oh,
wrap up. So just wrapping things up now and seeing the product of our hard work.
Right, moving
that
you
sounds
around. Let's see if you can see me here. Oh, don't mind, I had my ironing board leaning on me. Can you see that? Okay, you
Yeah.
can see that. All right. Oh, okay. So if you don't have one of these mats, absolutely get a mat because they are so handy and I use it all the time. So I had my dough in my thermo server. Now you can weigh, sorry, you can't see me in my face, but you can weigh the dough if you want, but I always just get a little palmful amount. A recipe that I follow usually says about 30 to 50 grams, and I just find a palm is fine. So like I said, if you want to weigh it, you can, but otherwise, literally just grab a little bit of the dough and then roll it out into a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mine are never perfect. So you can see, can you see the thickness there? It's not too thin. Now here I have got just passata. So this is our homemade passata, but you can obviously get it from the shops. I've just got passata, a teaspoon of salt, and a drizzle of olive oil, and I give it a good stir. So then I pretty much use 1 tablespoon per pizza. And so I literally just put a double of that there and then the cheese on top. And that is it. I'm going to put them on a baking tray. I'll do them all. Put them on a baking tray and they need to go in the oven about 15 minutes. Depends how strong your oven is at 200 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. I would tell you to start off with 10 minutes and check, and you'll be able to see when they're ready because they puff up nicely and they go a little brown around the edge. So I'm going to pop them in the oven now and they'll be ready before we finish.
I love the idea that you can actually freeze them because, yeah, I just don't have that much time. So if I could freeze them, pop them in, just throw them in,
Look,
super impressive.
yeah, freeze them. My tip is to freeze them not touching, so they don't. So then you there because if you freeze them touching, they're harder to snap and break.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So freeze them on a tray and then just chuck them in a freezer bag or a box. So then they're on top of each other. Who cares once they're frozen? Literally, like I said, pop them out and they'll defrost by the time the kids eat them at lunch. But I've even made these in the morning when the kids go to school. Now, full disclosure, I wake up at 5:30 because I go to a 6 o'clock yoga class. So what I've done in the past is put the dough on the Thermomix, walk out the door, go to my yoga class, come back an hour later, my dough's ready. And because I only take 15 minutes in the oven, by the time the kids are going to school, they've cooled down already. I've baked them and gone to, they're already in their lunch boxes. So I know not everyone wakes up that early, but if you do and you've got an extra hour in the morning, you can absolutely make them that morning if you want to.
Thank you, Raf. So Jen's still a little bit off, and obviously Janet's going to be a little bit further off. So this is what I'm going to do because we don't want to sit around and just wait for things to be ready. I'm going to get the girls to pop in their social handles into into the chat. And then what you can do is once you get off, you can follow them on their Instagrams and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And we will post the finished product. So definitely go check them out, pop them, add them, subscribe to them. The other thing is if you'd like to go back and have a look at this class or any of our other classes, we would love you to subscribe to our team YouTube channel. And there's so many classes there, a lot of TM6 ones, but we are building that this year and having a lot of TM7 classes on there too. So please in the chat, is there any further questions or any feedback for us? Jen, can you remind me yours? It's
Thermo Mastery.
Mastery. Yeah, I thought so. On Facebook, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to say. So the mozzarella. So I bought I get that's a more than mozzarella, and then I literally just put little cubes in the Thermomix and blitz it at speed 5 for 2 seconds, and that grates the mozzarella perfectly. You might not be able to see it, but yeah, perfectly.
And
also,
people
you don't have to put tomato on these pizzas, by the way. So I've got a friend who her son doesn't eat tomato, so she just makes them cheese and ham. So they can be really whatever you want. They don't have to be tomato.
Beautiful. Janet, what was your sorry, because I can't.
I'm the mom _ mixes.
What was it again? It's thermo.
The mom,
Oh yeah.
like the mom _ mixes.
And Janet's on Instagram, and Raf, yours is nourished by Rafaela, but it's underscore, isn't it?
No, just all together.
Nourished by Raf. So, yep, you can find the three of them on Instagram or Facebook for Jen. Um, I have to say a huge thank you to the girls for their time. We've just done four little quick lunchbox snacks in less than 45 minutes, which is amazing. Something you can absolutely access with your Thermomixes. Don't forget, I'll post this and all our other classes on our YouTube, which I'm going to pop in the chat as well. Let me do that.
Those are my bars.
Quick question, Raf, if it's
Yeah.
okay.
Of course.
I've been loving the stories you've been doing recently. I've been watching them all. I've been loving the Vegemite scrolls. That's been a big hit.
Yeah.
I just missed that when I watched it, you said that you don't let it rise, like you can do it quicker, but I couldn't remember what part you don't do a second rise. Does that make
No, it's so the recipe is this cheese and spinach. The recipe that I use for the dough is 3 cheese and spinach scrolls. And that is actually, so you mix the dough and it only needs to sit for 30 minutes. Then
Okay.
you roll it out, put whatever toppings you want on it. So you roll it out into a rectangle. And then I do so I don't roll the whole log. I slice and then I roll one individually and then I put them on the tray and pop them in a cold oven. So that's might be what you're thinking. It doesn't need to be, there's no second rise and it doesn't need a warm oven.
Okay. So
Yeah.
You roll them one at a time.
I roll them one at a time, Jen. So
it's a
when
good
it's in
tip. That's what I
rectangle,
do.
yeah, so I slice them, like do a slice, probably about
Yeah.
5-10 centimeters. So I use the pizza cutter. So I go like that across my dough.
Yeah.
And then I roll one at a time. And it means I don't get squished in the middle. Because if you
Right?
roll the whole log, it squishes in the middle.
Yeah. That's so smart.
I know. I don't know where I
Have
saw
you
it.
not,
I
no,
didn't come up with
haven't
it.
you seen that, Jen? I feel like Chelsea did that, and there's a few other. Yeah, you just do like the individual ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. No, I haven't seen it. Like that's, it's another
Yeah,
reason why I
Hey,
love
we're
this
all learning
job.
something
Yeah.
tonight.
Right?
Good.
Yes, and I love doing it with different people because
This is
I will
collaboration.
always learn something. No matter how long you've been doing it for, you
Always,
learn something.
always
And
something
those
new.
those scrolls can be sweet or savory. So like I just wouldn't do, if I wanted to make them sweet, I just wouldn't do the first couple of steps where I was doing the cheese, grating the cheese and doing the spinach.
Yes.
I would just skip straight to the dough and then make them sweet. But there's also other, good sweet scroll recipes on there. Cinnamon scroll recipe is amazing. But the reason why I love those scrolls as well is because again, you're making them like pizzas. You just do
Yeah.
tomato paste and cheese.
Yeah.
And then you don't even need to put anything in the filling. Sometimes what I do is I just do tomato and cheese. When I roll it, I put things on top. So I shove some olives in or shove some ham in. So it doesn't make them burst. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It also means when the kids take a bite, they can see it. Visually, they can see the ham on top. And when they take a bite, they get the ham and the olive straight away.
That's clever too. Love
I
that.
use a lot of I use the pizza dough you did. We normally do a Friday night pizza night at home.
Us
Yeah.
too.
The
Yeah.
focaccia, and then now this other one, and I like this Vegemite scroll one that I'm using because I don't have to the water. I don't have to what's it I've forgotten the word.
It doesn't have to be warm water.
Yeah, like it heats it.
Yep, yes,
And
yes,
so
yes, yes.
is there much of a difference between the different doughs?
I don't
Because
know.
it
You might
seems
have
similar to me.
You might have to share the actual recipes that you're
Yeah.
talking about. So yeah, but the pizza dough recipe that I use tonight, I
Yeah.
use that if we make a last minute decision to make pizzas because we've got a pizza oven, I
Oh,
put
yeah.
that dough on. But there's so many different pizza. It depends how much time you've got. But I like this one because it only needs an hour. But also, I'll tell you another trick of what I do when I'm using my pizza oven. So now, because I'm just doing mini pizzette there, then I just do the one rise. But when I'm doing the bigger pizzas in the pizza oven, so I'm cooking them at 400 degrees, I actually separate them out first. So I let it rise. Then I measure it out in about 180 to 200 gram balls. I shape them into the ball. I put them in a flat container with a lid. And then I give them about another 30 minutes to rise, a second rise like that. And I find that works really well when I'm using the really hot pizza oven.
Yeah.
And I also, with this pizza dough recipe that Teresa shared now in the chat, it says, for example, it says it cooks for 4. It does 4, but I often find that to do 180-gram or 200-gram pizza, it does slightly less.
Yeah.
So if I want, I'll do the 6, for example, if I know I want 5 pizzas.
Yeah.
Because I want them a little bit, a bit bigger.
Perfect.
Mm.
So I'm going to try the pretzels. I saw that one today. I'm going to give that a go.
Oh, you have to make those. So I had my nephews over. So my sister's got 4 boys. Connie's got 4 boys. And today I had 3 of them over. And so I knew I had to feed the troops because that meant 6 kids and four of them were boys. 5 of them were boys. And so I made the pretzels and they were like, like in 2 seconds. And I managed to have 2 left over and I messaged my neighbor and I said, do you want pretzels? And she popped her head over the She said, yes, please. So
Is that my cousin Irene? That wasn't her.
no, I've moved from Reservoir. No, I'm not there anymore. I'm in Langmore now. Yeah,
Oh.
unfortunately.
Oh,
So now I've got new neighbours to feed. But occasionally I still do feed Irene. I do drop bread up to it. But those pretzels are amazing. And you can make them as big or as small as you want. Again, they say 100 grams balls, but if you want to make them smaller for lunch boxes, just do them 50 grams. And I've also done the same thing where I've sliced them horizontally and put ham in them before in the lunch boxes.
Yeah.
And there's even party pretzel, the
I was
party
just going to
pretzel.
say that, yeah. The
So
pretzel
it's the
bites.
same recipe. It just, instead of twisting them into pretzels, you just roll the log out and you cut them diagonally into little kind of triangles, and you still got to boil them and bake them. So they're good as well. But I find that the rounder ones are better if I'm doing them for lunch boxes because you slice them and treat them like a roll, a bread roll.
And I imagine that the little ones aren't going to be the greatest tomorrow.
Neither of them are, to be honest. You've got to eat them same day. Yeah. And it's the same thing. A lot of baked goods, when you're using dried yeast, a lot of baked goods just need to be eaten the same day. Things that can last beyond a day, you usually need to use sourdough. And that makes a difference. You can eat that the next day or whatever. But usually I find that if you're using dried yeast or even fresh yeast, like conventional yeast, it needs to be the same day. Yeah.
You're not using any preservatives or,
That's right.
bread improver and such.
I made a loaf of bread the other day of sliced bread. It didn't last the day. So
oh, stop it.
well,
because it was eaten. Because it was eaten.
Yeah. No, the kids smashed it. I had a cheeky little taste. How could you resist fresh bread with some Thermomix butter? Made some butter as well.
Has anyone made the Portuguese bread?
Oh my gosh, all the time. All the time.
Yana, you've got to make the Portuguese bread.
Yeah, I saw you do that. I haven't tried it yet.
It's actually the easiest bread.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like sourdough vibes
it.
without the sourdough.
Is it meant to be sticky?
It's very sticky.
It's very sticky.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be that way. It's
okay.
It's very wet dough. You mix it in the Thermomix and you do not touch it. It rises in the Thermomix.
Right.
And then you literally tip it out onto your mat. And it says to shape it, but my advice is to not. I just tip it out onto the tray. I dust it with flour. And then I tip it out. I don't care what shape it comes as because the bread is delicious. If you don't mess with it, it has heaps of bubbles.
Yeah.
And it's got to be really dark.
But I ended up with really sticky hands. So.
Yeah, that's right. No, you can't touch it. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
I just use the Fira, the round Fira tray. I just chuck it in that. I cut the top, but I make sure I obviously grease the sides and stuff, but that works perfectly. And it keeps its shape because of the container.
Yes.
And
fair enough.
It's the best bread.
It really is.
It's my mum's, my grandmother's town in Italy. That's their traditional bread. It's exactly like that. And I've never been able to make it by hand. Doesn't matter how many times my mum shows me, I just can't do it. And mum does it all the time by hand. And then when I found this recipe, I tried it for the first time. I was like, oh my God, it's like Nonna's bread. It's exactly the same. But Thermomix does all the work.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if my pizzas are ready to show you. Oh, they're really ready. If you want to wait 2 minutes, I reckon they're going to be
right? These are ready too, which...
Oh, show us.
I thought we weren't going to be able to see, but...
I didn't anticipate this, but that's okay. That's
I love
good.
this, Jen, that you can do 2 recipes in one. That's just so
Yeah.
good.
I've
that's
just
awesome.
folded that over and ruined the aesthetics of it. But so that's, a frittata done. I would let that definitely cool, so that it will set a bit more. I mean, it's quite set, but just so it doesn't break because it's quite cheesy. I don't know if you noticed me putting that cheese in there. What's that thing I hear all the time? It'll go down easy if it's cheesy. Ugh, anyway, okay, I
I've
like
never
that.
heard that, Jen. But
You
I'll
never
pass
heard
it on to
it?
I
Serena.
was like, that
I'll
sounds
pass
like
it on to
a
Serena for her marketing because she works for a cheese company. So I reckon she could.
Yeah. It'll go down easy when it's cheesy. Okay. I think it's an American thing, which
probably
makes
that's
sense, right?
Amorte's next TikTok.
Lucky.
You can ask for money, Jen.
I
Or
could.
just
I
free
could.
cheese, just
I'll
a
just
block
ask
of
for
cheese.
cheese.
Oh,
Some
cheese.
lots of
Yeah.
some block of cheese. That's all right.
Look at these little bubbas.
Look at that. Yeah, like Raf said, I love the 2 for 1. I'm all about
Yeah.
that.
Very good.
And I would I'll drizzle them with something or other. But I did
Pistachio.
notice, again, full disclosure, which is not really a bad thing. So I've used this, I've used a muffin tin, like a muffin, silicon muffin or cupcake tray. So they're a decent size, but the top of that has kept them flat, which is kind of great.
I'm okay with that
Well, for lunch boxes, it is good because when you
because
put
you
it in
got
a
a
Yes,
flat.
lunchbox,
Yeah.
exactly, right? So it's kept them, they're coming out beautifully, like just easy as pie.
Mm.
And they are absolutely done. Oh, look at them. So I've got my
They
little
look
cupcakes there.
fantastic.
And I got see if I can put that on a plate so that looks nice too.
And Raf's got her little pizza pizzetti, is that? Pizzetta?
Oh,
Oh, you're muted, Raf.
they look really good.
muted. Sorry, I was just saying, see how they're slightly brown around the edges?
Mm.
That's just the way you want them. You don't want to put them in any longer because then they'll go hard. So
Yeah.
just slightly brown around the edges.
Perfect.
Easy.
And Jenny, yours is still
I
cooking,
still
aren't
have
they?
about 5 minutes to go.
That's all right. You can post them up,
Yeah,
and we'll
but
share them.
I was gonna say if you want to do it like more fancy, you can melt some chocolate in the Thermomix. You can either dip it or pipe whatever pattern.
Yeah,
I let
and
my
Janice,
kids
I
do
was going
that
to
part.
say, because I
I
make
love
biscuits
it.
where the recipe says to dip
Yeah.
in chocolate, and I try not to do that because then what the kids do is they bite the chocolate bit and then they don't eat the rest. So my tip is instead of doing the dip, drizzle across
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or with
just with a
Thermomix, you
spoon.
can just mix, melt it, and just do that.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you again, everyone. Thank you, Alison and Kim and Deanna, for coming. And yeah, stay tuned to what our next month. If you've got any ideas or any things that you'd like us to cover, let us know. But also just feel free to yell out to your consultant if you have any other questions. And remember, if you want that TM7 or like me and Jen and a few of us that earned our second one, you can do that as well. So you can 4 sales in 90 days. Or if you want to just join because you've already purchased a 7, you're welcome to do that too. So would love to have more people on board with our team. Thank you again, everyone, and we will chat to you soon.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks for your time,
Thanks,
ladies.
everyone.